Hello, and I'm going to show you how I made this key UI for my achievements page in Figma. Alright, so you're going to want to start with finding a key that you like. I have one here, or you can even just draw your own. And we're going to start with the pen tool. I'm just going to use the handles to try and get it how I want it. It's best to use as little anchors as possible because the anchors will do little chinks in the line that I really don't like. And we're just going to keep going. I'm going to stop at this bar. So sometimes you can also take the anchors and use this mirroring to try and smooth it out a little bit. I like the middle one a lot. And yeah, that's pretty good. All right, so now I'm going to do this middle section here. So I'm going to exit out of that and just make this bad boy. Cool. Again, I'm going to use the little handles to try and get it pretty even for this. Alright, and even though these lines are not connected, for this you just want it to look like it's connected. Alright, I do a lot of fiddling. You double click to get it into this edit mode. Alright, cool. Now I'm going to go ahead and Control C, Control V to make paste, and then I'm going to right click to flip it horizontally, and then I have two sides. Alright, and I'm going to duplicate it again. So now I have two of those. Do that line, and we go all the way down to here, and then I'm going to make the end and clean it up a little bit. Cool. So now I have all of that. I'm just going to copy and flip this. Oops, wrong thing. Copy and horizontal flip that. Get in there and nudge it over to where I want it. I can put that. Alright, and same thing for this. Control V, flip it horizontally. You can learn all the shortcuts for this. I'm not always super great about using shortcuts. Alright, so now I'm going to connect these two. Double click into there. Don't know why it doesn't want to. Alright. Just going to try and make this look as good as possible. Acting up. Don't know why it's not snapping to this anchor. Taking these and I'm just kind of manually getting it to look decent enough. Trying to make them similar. They don't look like shit. Alright, we have the outline of the key. And now I'm going to make this little key part down here. I'm going to do that by getting the square tool, and I'm going to round the edges. And I don't want this side to be rounded, so I'm going to the corner radius, I'm going to click there. I'm just going to make those ones on the left hand side 0. I'm going to grab it, duplicate it, and make another one and just shrink it a little bit. And then I'm going to grab this, make another square so it's connected. I want this little rounded bit here, so I'm going to go in and just make a little section to round that off. I'm going to fill it. Boom. And I'm going to turn off the stroke weight. Perfect. All right. I'm going to duplicate that. I'm going to flip it horizontally or vertically. And oops. Move apparently everything but that. And then yeah, move that up there. Okay, we have all the little pieces I want. I'm gonna grab everything, all of those, and I'm gonna go and combine them, union them. Cool. And now I'm going to somehow this got not straight, so I'm straightening that out. Deleting that so there's only one bottom. Undoing that because that's going to drive me crazy. Alright. I'm going to add a stroke to the inside of this one that's the same weight as the stroke as I've been using. And I'm going to butt it up to there. Cool. Another thing we kind of need is we need to fill this interior. I'm gonna do that potentially the hard way. But first I'm going to just go ahead and make all the lines union so that I don't have to worry about them shifting around. Alright, so the lines, except for this little bit, because I'm probably gonna have to do something with that. Alright, so the next part that I'm gonna do is I'm going to make a fill for this, and I'm going to do that by getting the pen tool, so P for pen. And I know this is probably not everyone's favorite way of doing this, but I will sometimes, because I want to make sure that it's a separate object, I will just make my own fill. There's probably a faster way to do this. I do this pretty quickly, and I just like having the control of it. I'm not going to fill that because I'm probably going to use a different fill method. So I'm going to come all the way down here. Oops. Boom, 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 boom. Then I'm in the center, so I'm going to go up there. I'm going to fill it. I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm going to flip it. I thought I duplicated it. That's okay. We're going to control V, so we make another, and then I'm going to flip one horizontally. And they should be perfecto. And they are. Grab those two, union. Shift bracket brings the outline to the top, so it's over that fill layer. And then I'm going to turn this union off, or I'm going to hide this one because I'm going to make the interior of this little loop. So I'm going to grab the circle tool and make about that, make a second one, pull it over there. And I'm going to grab this tool. Pen tool. I'm going to go in and start building this out. I'm not bothering with this little nudge here because it's going to be kind of lumpy looking, and I don't want that. Alright, so I'm actually just going to duplicate this side and union it like we did with the fill. So there we go. Try and get everything as nice as possible. And down here. Okay. Alright. No, it's not filling. Alright, maybe it's because of this. not want to do it. Oh, darn. So right now the object is not acting like a complete object or a closed pin shape. It's acting like a line, which is not what I want because I need to fill it. I might have to start over. Yay! Alright, maybe we'll just do it only pin tool. Trying to get all these like kind of complex little curves. Alright, maybe I can make that work. Alright, so I don't really like what's going on here. Let's see if we can fix that. I'm interested in it just being as smooth as possible. It's kind of hard with this kind of stuff. Sometimes I'll just kind of do the best I can. All right, I think that's pretty good. So we're gonna fill it. Fill it with that gray, turn that off, and I'm going to, again, grab it, copy it, and flip it. I think union that, and then maybe I can kind of just stretch it. Okay, I don't hate that. I'm gonna add a little thing here just to round out this corner. So like we did on the other side on one key. Bottom. Just try and make that a little nicer. I'm just gonna use this so it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm gonna turn on that. Okay. Just try and get them nice and symmetrical. Use the pixel grid. Cool. And then union those two. Very nice. Okay. I no longer need the key image. I'm going to turn that off. So we have a pretty good little key going on. So I'm going to turn on the fill that we made, and I'm going to select the keyhole that we made as well as the back layer. I'm going to put them on top of each other. And we're going to this is why you name your layers. So I'm going to do that right now. There's the keyhole. Keyhole. This is the key fill. Key, I don't know what that's called. Key, we're just gonna call it key 2, key outline 2, key outline. Naming your layers is smart. I'm not always smart. So we're gonna click the keyhole and the key fill, and we're gonna go over here and we're going to subtract, and we're gonna have a little hole here. Perfect. You can also, so actually undo that. We need 2 key holes. So we're gonna duplicate the keyhole and we're gonna add a stroke to it. And then, what is the stroke on these? Everything has a 1 stroke. Okay, so then we're going to go back to the first keyhole that's on top of the key fill, and we're going to again subtract it. Turn off the fill on the keyhole, the second one. So now you have a key. All right, so I'm kind of freestyling the coloring aspect, but I want it to match this other UI icon I did for this game screen. So I pulled in this thing that I made, and we're going to kind of color it around that. I'm gonna start by grabbing this, and I'm gonna fill it with the green just for now. All right. All right, so I'm going to take that key fill that we have and I'm going to duplicate it or flip it on accident. I'm going to copy, paste, bro, control, there we go. I just wanted to be in place. So I control C, control V that. And I'm just gonna kind of do a little fake out thing where I'm going to color that top one a darker green, and I'm just gonna squish it a little bit so that it has kind of like a little outline going on. I can even go in and nope, that's not gonna work. So I've squished her, and I kind of like how that looks. Where it's adding a little bit of highlighting, kind of faking it out. So let me do that, and then I'm gonna go and I'm gonna name this key fill bottom. I'm gonna duplicate that again, and I'm gonna grab, I like to try and keep the layers I'm gonna combine on top of each other. I'm gonna do that, and I'm going to mask it and see what happens. Wah. I don't know what's doing that. It's driving me crazy. Put it on top of it. Key fill. There we go. So I masked it, and now it's kind of doing that little highlighting effect. So what we do next is, all right, so I think this would also look good with kind of a similar thing going on. I'm gonna duplicate this. I'm gonna turn off the outline. I'm just gonna kind of squish it in and double click in and like kind of do all this stuff. I'm also going to make it dark and kind of just play around. Oh, it has escaped. It has escaped the outline. Alright, back to this. Figma is mostly just a ton of nudging things around, if you haven't noticed. Alright, I might have accidentally destroyed this thing. Well, let's find out. Alright. Get back down there. Huh. Don't love that. I changed the shape and I forgot about these little side things we did. Ha ha ha. I can live with that. Do I like this? Good question. I'm just gonna keep playing with it. Here. Lost this little guy in the fray. Do a little. I think that's okay. I think the key in general needs some more highlights. We also need to fill this in. I think do these look the same size? They don't look the same size to me. It's bigger. I think I might like it smaller in general. Alright, that's kind of fun. So now I'm gonna like fill those little knobs. So I need to make the fill. And what we're gonna do is not that, oops. We're gonna grab the rectangular tool and just make it about the same size. And then I'm gonna turn those into little capsules. Cool. And then I'm going to accidentally lose it. All right. All right. There we go. Make another one for the bottom one. right, and we're gonna make both of them this color. We're gonna duplicate another one, make them this color, and we're going to shrink them. There, so it also has like a little highlight effect happening. About the same pixel length. I don't like it. Make sure everything's within the lines. Okay. I don't hate it. Similarly, we're gonna make some highlights, some quick and easy highlights. I'm gonna take a square, go all the way down. My style is like fairly illustrative-esque, so it's not really meant to be realistic, so I'm gonna grab that. Do that. I don't really like this, so I'm gonna give it a rounded bottom. Oops. Put that under the line. So I might even be able to just make sure that goes under the key. There they are. The key rectangles. Usually gives me an option what corners to round. I don't know why this is not letting me do it right now. Oh well, that's okay. I'll fix that in a little bit. I think it needs to be an even lighter. Grab a different. Maybe. Alright, and I think this needs to be continued a little bit into the rest of the key. I'm going to try making a highlight path kind of like to there. We're going to make it really big. Too big. 15, 10, 9. Okay. So this is a pretty blunt ending, so we're going to round it off. Check that out. Check that out. All right, so we're gonna make this match up so it looks like a continuous light source a little bit. Cool. Ew. Make it the same color and make it a little smaller. There we go. I'm now thinking I want to change the bottom color. Yeah, that's better. All right. Alright, I think I'm gonna do a little, change that down to 7-ish. I'll do the same-ish kind of thing down here. Oops. So I'll get my pen tool back. And cool. That's the same size. That's kind of fun. All right. He needs a bit of highlighting over here as well, maybe. Actually, I don't know. Alright, I think that's my key. So here's a achievements page that I'm working on, and my little key is gonna go right over here. Once I get it to go there. Cool. Well, thanks for listening, and thanks for watching.